What do men love about women? The 9 feminine traits that you must have. The truth is that many of you women want masculine men, and masculine men desire feminine women. Now, some of you may be thinking that there aren't as many around anymore. That warrants a separate discussion. But the reality is that many of you are attracted to more macho men as women. But determining whether you are radiating your feminine energy is a challenge in attracting that masculine man. Hi, I'm Stephen Biko, and I offer advice on this channel that can be applied to growth in every aspect of your life. So whether you come here for guidance on your romantic life or because you enjoy general style of thinking that you receive from this channel, you'll be able to utilize it for anything you want to do this year. Let's get started. Do you have energy when you lead? That's going to attract you the things that you want to need in life. Not just the sense that mainly men, but the things that you want in life in general. Because, once again, femininity is your strength, your superpower, and the thing that when unlocked will make everything significantly better. I'm going to outline some of the feminine characteristics and traits that men appreciate in women for you. However, remember that it's also for you and not just for them. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that you can watch all the other videos before I start. But this list top spot goes to being receptive and available. What do you think I mean by that? When a woman is in her feminine energy, she's open to love and able to accept compliments and willing to let a man take care of her. And that's very crucial point, because so many women, so many of you struggle with letting men take care of you at the moment. And you don't see how that doesn't scream femininity, okay? Being too walled off or overly engrossed in your independence, when the truth is that being dependent on him makes you more vulnerable. And many of you fear that vulnerability. In fact, you might want to fear femininity as a whole because in your eyes, femininity is synonymous with weakness, and that's what has hurt you in the past. You might now believe that by putting up the wall, assuming responsibilities for the situations and not depending on men, you are emotionally shielded yourself from disappointing and hurt. But in reality, you damage more and are more stressed at your life and prevent your feminine energy from emerging from you. It not only deters the kind of man that you want, a strong masculine man, but it also attracts a kind of man who will put to avoid straying too far from the topic at hand. Let's return to be open and receptive, because you must also understand that masculine men wants to give to and provide for you. In this quality, the masculine man loves to see a woman, and if you can't accept that, you essentially kill his capacity to pour love and desire, and the situation of what he also brings to the table into your life. Because everyone wants to feel needed, valued in a relationship, whether you want to admit it or not. Men desire a relationship with someone who makes them feel needed and appreciated. And because you are not open to it, you kill it and suffocate it by letting him pour into you on his way. Yet again, you put yourself in a position to attract the wrong kind of men, rather than the kind who will fill your cup, lift your spirits and bear your burdens for you. Take advantage of being more receptive. And it goes beyond the merely being open and who does for you. It involves being open to love in general, as well as being receptive to a man complimenting you. Many of you claim and want love, but are genuinely terrified at it. When true love comes your way, you start to flee because, as I said earlier, that love necessitates vulnerability. So allow me to add this: if you are having trouble in this area, healing must begin with you. I mean, you have to embrace yourself if you want to release your full feminine energy. It is what this process really needs. Again, I want you to know that healing and embracing your feminine are not just for men. I feel compelled to emphasize this, so you know that while you are the primary audience for this, others will also gain from it. Yes, it will help you to maintain a wonderful relationship. It will help you and already have children and will help you to interact with those around you. So be ready to accept healing so that you can open up more and start releasing more of your feminine energy. Positive and uplifting attitudes are the second feminine trait that men adore in women. I contend that majority of men do not want to interact with negative women. Furthermore, negativity does not represent femininity. You must therefore relocate to a better location right now. What factors now support that? Smiling more is one of them and simple thing that can be helpful. Now I'm aware that some of you are probably making faces right now because I'm telling you to smile more. Some of you also dislike hearing you should smile more. But first of all, remember that smiling is good for your soul. However, it does help you to accentuate femininity and positive energy. According to a study, men find women who to be more attractive when they smile. This is simply the case. Some of you may now argue that men should also smile. I'm not saying that men can't smile as well. However, the same study also discovered that people found men to be more attractive when they weren't grinning in their photographs. And the explanation is that lack of smile exuded more this powerful masculine energy. The smile also draws you more to your feminine energy. Please understand that we all possess both masculine and feminine energy, and that we each need to draw from each side occasionally. Each side must, however, navigate a dominant energy if you want to achieve the desired outcomes. The other outcomes, in my opinion, are the best for their life. So yes, embracing the optimism. Let me add one more thing about smiling. When you are at peace inside, smiling comes naturally. That brings up a healing once more. You also see that if you're living a trouble in this area, the root of everything I mentioned in this list is that you need to heal. Be aware, however, that men are more drawn and truly adore feminine qualities in women, such as smiling and being more upbeat about your words, attitude, and overall energy. Let's now move on to the item number 3. Additionally, I believe that you find number 3 to be somewhat intriguing. The third one is understanding how to influence rather than to impress, yes? So let's go to it. Feminine energies knows how to persuade and knows how to get what they want out of people using positive soft energy. Which is why it can be very seductive, cunning, and delicate with the approach. Well, the person who dedicates tells you to do this, and that then instructs you on what to do. It is a stronger energy that repels men, and most specifically, it repels strong masculine men who desire a loving, healthy relationship with a woman. A man isn't attracted to that. In the same vein, you don't want someone telling you what to do, okay? You want a strong, capable leader who can make decisions rather than just tell you what to do and call it a day. Correct? Why on earth will he want that? He doesn't want that at all. But as a woman, you tend to believe that you can still get what you want without being in charge if you know how to channel your feminine energy. Listen up. I give you a quick example right now. Have you ever seen a woman who refers to everyone as baby, sweetheart, honey, and alright when she speaks to them? Do you ever notice that a woman struggling to persuade a man to do her a favor if you pay attention and watch her? No, a man will wash her car, carry her groceries, and open her door. Why? She has the ability to communicate that persuasive feminine and even seductive energy because she is skilled at speaking to men. And it doesn't have to be seductive in a sexual sense. Rather, it can be seductive in a way that once more draws men and puts them in a state of trance. And it's like, okay, they'll follow your instructions. You understand what I mean? Men will therefore love you when you learn to master whether they realize it or not. Appreciate how you can communicate with me without trying to control me or tell me what to do. You still persuade me to see the point and view or accept what you want from this situation. Okay, I'll use myself as a quick example for you. There was a very long time ago, and I recall I had a friend who was a woman who was a real platonic friend. And you know, she will call me and ask, "What are you doing?" as soon as she picked up the phone. And I will always say, None of your damn business. In my response, here's the issue though. Friend or no friend, I had no issue telling a woman what I was doing. The way she spoke bothered me. You speak to me though I am your child and ask me questions that I must immediately respond to. One woman can call me and ask, hey, what are you up to? Whereas the other woman can and will give them a full random of everything I am doing, I've done and intend to do in the future. It is simpler and more willing for a man to open up when you know how to talk to him. However, if you approach with that attacking energy, you will stop things in their tracks and make them move to the left. So keep that in mind and practice persuasion rather than dictating. That will go a long way towards projecting a feminine quality that men will undoubtedly be attracted to. We are currently on number 4. Fourth is the list is taking care of oneself and staying active. Men, whether they are masculine or men in general, usually adore women who can take care of themselves. We are drawn to attractive women in addition to looking after yourself. This is simply the truth, that this is how things are. And once more, a man may desire that this woman to a greater extent and more masculine he is, because that does pour into feminine energy, you understand. However, it involves more than just your look. It involves taking care of yourself on all levels, because you need to realize this. You won't be able to manifest in those feminine ways than they already discussed and will continue to discuss. If you don't take care of yourself, the overall well-being, including your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, because you are so exhausted and worn out, you won't have the energy of that positivity, and you won't be able to be as patient and persuasive if you won't even have the energy to take care about how you look today. Therefore, when you don't take care of yourself, you'll stop being good for him and yourself and simply throw everything off the course. So when I say care, I really mean self-care in general. You require a day when you take a break and need time to recharge. And I will contend that any man who is sincere about you cares about you and is a man who truly walks in his masculine and will not object to you taking necessary steps to ensure that you can always give your best effort. You must therefore take an inventory of your life and establish a structure that will allow you to invest in yourself and have time. Many of you are so exhausted and burdened by everything that is going on in your life that in essence, life is running you and not the other way around. You are unaware of how preventing you from using your feminine energy. Likewise, displaying that feminine energy. Therefore, for anyone who says, well, I just don't have time, you must make time to believe me. You must use strategy. You must take some time to plan. So what are my hours? What do I do every single day? How can my schedule be changed? I tell you a brief short story. It has been a while since I had a client. She was having trouble with dating in a relationship when she came to me. I believe she had been separated for a while, and anyway, she had 2 children as well. As a result, I noticed that this woman did not exude her feminine energy and was overburdened and stressed. So, I was like, okay, give me your schedule. How does your schedule look like right now? During the week, she works from 9 to 5, and when she gets home, she takes care of the kids by cooking for them. She is a single mother, as you may know. What about the weekends? I replied. So, it's time to clean the house on the weekends. The child's room needs to be cleaned. I call you to stop immediately. What age are the children? About 14 or 15 years old. I asked you to be patient. You have what I refer to as grown-up kids, okay? Okay, 14 and 15 physically fit kids. You are cleaning up their room. Well, you should be unwinding this weekend. You have to clean your child's room. Oh, please, no. This is difficult. So when you tell me about that you don't have time, it's because you haven't set up a system that allows you to do so. I therefore gave her the homework assignment. No, saying that I needed her to teach the kids how to clean their room and leave it to them for the next 2 weeks. To be completely honest with you, I understand that some of you may feel that I should clean up after them because they don't do it correctly or clean up after themselves. Listen, I'm not asking you to tolerate your child's messy room. However, if you manage to get the kids to respect the common areas, let's say that their room isn't always the cleanest in the weekends, in order to clean up after them, you may need to take some time for yourself to unwind and recharge. Like to make sure that their room stays tidy. That's not worth it. Simply put it, I don't believe that this is worth your peace of mind. And you need to ask yourself honestly, are you cleaning up their room because it's really important, or are you doing this as a diversion? Are you merely trying to avoid facing your daily reality or finding ways to keep busy? And I can tell you that's hurting some of you, because some of you are acting in that way. Like to make sure that their room stays tidy, and that's not worth it. Simply put, I don't believe that this is worth your peace of mind. And you need to ask yourself honestly, are you cleaning up the room because it's really important? Or are you doing this as a diversion? Are you merely trying to avoid facing your daily reality or finding ways to keep busy? And I can tell that's hurting some of you, because some of you are acting in that way. So yes, a lot of this is said there, but let's move on. Now let's move on to number 5. But before I go, number 5, pay attention, because I keep bringing up healing. We are mistakenly discussing feminine energy and attributes. But I also want you to find more inner peace, discover your calling, and be able to enjoy all the things that you aspire in life. So many of you have inquired from my other social channels to get more content. Today, I would love to direct you to YouTube Real Fresh Wisdom channel and join me by hitting the subscribe button and get access to consume quality content. It has benefited countless numbers of women. You'll be adore and find it to be just what you need. Again, we must prioritize and invest in your development and self-care and healing. And this will enable you to embark on a journey with other like-minded women who are supporting one another and moving forward. If you want to join the VIP members, kindly log on to www.patreon.com/realwisdom or use the link in the descriptions down here in the comment section and obtain the opportunity to directly have me cover what you actually need. Okay, number 5 is not paying attention and exercising consideration. Being watchful, considerate, and nurturing are all the very feminine traits that men adore. I feel compelled to say this right now, even though it might sound strange. I'm going to say it. By observing how some men interact with their mothers, you can tell how much men adore it. Now listen, I'm not first to say that you don't want men to be mama's boys. In a sense, that lack of ability to prioritize their wife and partner or their mother. However, I believe that there is much to be learned from this dynamic. The reason these men are so devoted and loyal to their mothers is because their mothers invest so much in them. So, is thoughtful, attentive, and incredibly supportive and motivating. These are all the feminine traits that men like and want in a lady. And sometimes, what happens is that since he does not acquire such traits from their girlfriend, and what I call to all the reasons why he is with a woman who does not, what happens is that when he does not get these qualities in his relationship but gets it from his mother, you'll see that he is more devoted to her than to his spouse. You'll observe he's placing more importance to his mother than his partner's feelings. Sometimes, even letting her control the relationship. Because the one who bestows those attributes wields some sort of authority. Although I almost feel bad by saying that, and why that is the truth. In a lot of situations, it does not turn out in that way. Therefore, I'm not telling you to do this merely to give you the impression that I now own absolute power, rather than I want you to realize that while it will enhance your relationship and attract more macho men to you, it will also enable you to express your femininity more. Furthermore, you must realize that the more you can use these feminine traits in various contexts, the more that you will feed your other feminine traits. So in a way, it aids in your whole development, transports you to a better place once more. And right now, I have to share a tale that helps to illustrate this further. So I distinctly recall a client I once had who based in London, and I have no idea if she would ever view this. She'll chuckle when she hears the story though anyway. She is a stunning woman who before moving to London worked as a model. Anyway, she once confided in me that she didn't attract attention of men. Guys were not attracted to her out there. Guys weren't not asking her out on a date. No one was approaching her and will hold out meetings on Skype. Hey, listen, I guess it's because you look hard, I said. You'll understand that I am saying and you don't appear approachable. Furthermore, being attractive and radiating is a tough vibe. Might make you even more terrifying to men who want to approach you. She responded, what do you want me to do? When I said that I believe you needed to, emanate more feminine energy. Do you expect me to stroll about wearing a flower on my head? And I concurred. I instructed you to put a flower on your hair once a week. I mean, then when I said put a flower on your head because I only want you to wear feminine clothing, pastel and bright colored dresses and skirts. Let's try it for a week and see what transpires. She was asked out on a date on day 2 of the experiment, and I promise to you all. However, even that isn't the story's best feature. The positive thing was that she mentioned that she enjoyed most of that. She felt like a lady for the first time in a long time and felt good and talked about it. And for that reason, it's one of the reasons that I am so excited about supporting you as you embark on this path to increase your connection to your feminine energy. Because although I am presenting these traits that men love, it really is more about you, what to make you content and happy. In any case, returning to the main topic of being able to be more nurturing and loving and attentive in all enable feminine energy and make you much more appealing woman to many men. Okay? So number 6 is now being jovial and having a sense of humor. Okay? Once more, femininity understands how to be playful, how to just have fun, and how to stop taking itself so seriously. And once again, particularly when talking about manly males who, as I just indicated, are already dealing with very serious world and a very serious issue. And to be able to visit someone who is calm, happy, and playful and enjoyable, whether it be at home or somewhere else, that's really energizing thing, no doubt. Men adore it when they find that in a woman, and they adore it when they can joke about a lady without the fear of offending her. There is nothing more unpleasant than spending time with a woman who is constantly sober. You always interpret things incorrectly, okay? She has to make it into something terrible, even when you are just making a joke and they aren't trying to offend anyone. That only depletes the guy. And he won't want to hang out on that, commit to it. Once more, he won't be lured to it. Therefore, you need to be careful and that you are not changing to an energy looking for anything to be offended by. You are aware that in today's society, individuals are easily insulted. Consider how exhausting it may be at times. In order to assist him to unwind, it is undoubtedly helpful to be more light-hearted, than one sense of humor and simply enjoy life. Because a manly man frequently has trouble understanding how to simply unwind. Therefore, having a lady who provides him balance becomes really precious and greatly wanted, okay? The 7 feminine attributes that men value in a woman is willingness to listen and learn, which brings us to number 7. Yes, I want to exclude the learning portion. I'm sure that you have heard that part about listening. So let me quickly explain. So once again, let me state clearly that when I say listen, I don't intend to merely follow what he instructs. Is there a certain degree of comparison where you can just say, okay, whatever he wants to do, I'll go along with it? There's a degree which I can flow with this man. Do you want to be driven down a cliff by a man? Please, no way. You get what I mean. But if you're talking about a real guy here, a man who is genuine in his manly health, I don't feel that I need to say healthy masculine, because true masculinity to me is healthy. Especially if he's sincere interested in a lady, then in that situation, yes, there is a level of listening, letting him lead the way, correct? But also listening to him in the sense that, and even more crucially, letting him feel that he can communicate to you and express himself to you. That you won't blow things off his face and make him feel less of a man if he has a weak moment. That you'll truly attempt to understand where he's coming from rather than to listen and refute it, or listen to overpower it with your own perception and thoughts and emotions. As a woman occasionally, Some women let their feelings overpower in the heat of the moment and fail to notice that they are either entirely disregarding what the guy just said to them or aren't disguised to his actual words because they are too busy interpreting and dissecting them. He stated that he wants to eat some chicken outside. He wants to go out and grab some chicken, which is probably why I'm talking about it right now. And you think I'm just talking up some ridiculous scenario. But what he really wants to do is to go see some lady he saw the other day. And I say that sometimes you guys are also preoccupied with yourself and you don't pay attention to him. You simply interpret and analyze. You're not accepting him at his word. And that becomes quite annoying. You must learn how to just listen to extend the benefit of the doubt to him. Why are you even with him if he's proving to you that he can't be trusted? Why even are you amusing him? You understand what I mean? Therefore, if this is the case, you want to create let the man live. But beyond that, develop your listening skills. But I urge you to pay attention and take notes. So once more, it comes down to listening to what he has to say, taking notes and teachable times. It also comes down to getting to know him, his desires, his methods of operation, how he prefers to be addressed, and his preferred models of communication. This is a two-way street, of course. Naturally, we also want the man to learn you. It goes without saying right now that we want the man to pay attention to you as well. However, the attention is on you and the feminine traits that will appeal to, attract that male to a woman. And it is a lovely thing that when people are eager to listen, comprehend, and to learn, moreover, it enables you to embody your feminine at the very time. You must thus be ready to accept, and you'll gain a lot from doing so, if I do promise. The eighth attribute is certainly being picky. And regarding this one, I was a little unsure whether to include it. But let me first briefly explain my reasoning. Why may or may not be sound. Here's why I started being picky. It's just my opinion. Being picky does, in my opinion, speak more of femininity. I feel a bit silly saying this, but I'm going to tell you what I was thinking earlier, despite how I feel. I say this because I consider it in a sense of just being sexual, if that makes sense. Men may be a little more erratic than women, who often are a little less picky without who they choose to lie down with. One can contend that this drive the rule that streets reflects the male energy. An alpha energy or something similar. You can make that argument, right? Women, on the other hand, are often more restrained. Some may counter that we won't discuss all of it at this time due to the societal indoctrination. But the reason that I brought up sex is that, this is true that women of the feminine are more aware of who they are interacting with. She doesn't want to sprint the streets as quickly as a male would. I'm only providing you the justification for why I included it as a feminine quality, whether it is perceived as one or not. But whether you believe it's feminine or not, I think it's still true that men want to see women who are picky, who aren't for everyone, who are hard to get, or not once more. But let me be clear that I say that I am not easily obtained. I don't mean it in a condescending way. I don't advocate playing the field. It just indicates that you have standards additionally you have not for everyone, and you shouldn't settle for every old man who approaches you without making an attempt. However, for the ones who are decent, for the men who come right, and as a result of some women, in my opinion, fail to realize that men observe women interacting with other guys. They may judge them to be of low quality, which can be damaging to the woman. The lady may become less appealing as a result. That's the kind of guy she deals with, and sort of. Now that he knows the past and the kind of man that she dealt with, he could be less inclined to consider her as someone he wants to treat seriously. A woman might therefore become more attractive to many men, and especially to a more macho guy, by being more choosy, by giving the impression that she only dates men of certain high quality or men who contribute more on the table. Therefore, when it comes to being selective, we might debate it's actually a feminine quality or not. But I do believe that it's quality that men like in a woman. The ninth and the last feminine quality that men like in a woman is a willingness to follow his footsteps. So while being open to listening to his type of go hand in hand, I want to go a little bit further. Once more, in manly man is a guy who has mastered the art of leadership. Please note, when I use the word lead, I don't mean to be a tyrant. I'm referring to leading with love. I'm talking about setting an example by acting in your interest in mind. I'm talking about safeguarding you and trying to offer you the best while you're getting what I need from you. You know, making sure that we both contend here. It's a caliber of leadership, yes, that results in wonderful good things. The manly guy needs a woman who can accept and trust his leadership. And once again, if you struggle to trust a man's leadership, you must be honest about it, whether it stems from lack of healing, from what you have gone through, or what you have witnessed with other women go through. It is because this man lacks specific attributes that allow you to accept him. And if he continues to lack such attributes, the question becomes, why are you with him? Or what are the absolute least discuss with him is to see if he can fix it, so that he can get everything back in order. Because if you don't follow his lead, you will wind up being the one in charge. And if you wind up becoming the leader, you have stepped out of your feminine into a masculine role. And now you'll condition him and he's not fully manly. And I'll say that if he's suddenly letting you to lead the way, he's probably not walking in his manhood. It now creates a dynamic in which the load is on you and you begin to despise this man and lose respect for him. It will eventually deteriorate. So, while this is true, it does not rule out the possibility and circumstance in which the woman finds herself in charge of the male relies on her competence. However, if she becomes an undisputed leader, the majority of people who will be unhappy. And it's not going to be a scenario that allows you to stay and walk in your feminine energy, which is what every man is going to be drawn to. That will actually provide you the peace, the harmony, and the happiness that you want, as well as the fantastic, successful relationship that you actually desire. See you later, and thanks for watching this video. And remember to check out this one right here, and I'll see you there. They say that a man desires a woman, nothing can stop him from pursuing her. And I'm not sure about any of it, because there are always exceptions to every rule. But on the other hand, consider the concept of a woman. Till next time, have a nice one and see you in the next one.